Hi, my name is Dennis Morris. I'm a photographer, artist, and musician. I never actually started out wanting to be a music photographer. I actually wanted to be a war photographer. And I was very influenced by reportage. When I was in my last year at school, I read that Bob Marley was coming to do his first tour of England. And so I bunked off school and went to the club he was playing the first date with, Speakeasy Club. And so around 6 o'clock he turned up, and as he walked towards him, I said, "Hey, can I take your picture?" And he said, "Yeah, man, come in." And so he invited me in. During breaks, he was asking what it was like to be a young black kid in England, etc. And he told me about the tour they were doing, if I wanted to come along. And I said, yeah. So the next day I packed my bags, I was doing sports, and went to the hotel. And one of my most iconic images of him in a transit van, in those days it was a Ford Transit, and he looked back and said, "You ready, Dennis?" I said, "Yeah." And it's become one of my most iconic images. 2 years later, I left school and was trying to get work. And they came back to play. Bob came back without Peter and Bunny to play the Lyceum. I got in touch with the record company. They said, "Bob remembers you." He gave me, so I got a photo pass. And I had an old Leica M3. But I had one thing over all the other photographers. I knew how Bob performed. And so I'd positioned myself in a good place. And so I got some great shots. And one of my shots ended up to become the cover of Live at the Lyceum, which is the most famous albums, one of his most famous albums. And then through that, I got the front cover of NME, Melody Maker, Time Out, and I was launched into music photography, but it was never my ambition. What made people like Don McCullum a great war photographer was he was literally, the troops respected him because he was there with them on the front line. No telephoto lens, he was there with them. So if you apply that to working with a band, you have to kind of build up this relationship with them where you're part of the unit as such. So for instance, when I worked with the Sex Pistols, it was exactly the same thing. I was literally with them 24/7. We built up a friendship. So basically, again, when I was with them backstage, whatever it was, you understand, what I was doing was reading the situation, knew something was going to happen, knowing how each individual was, and then I was ready to take that shot. Because music is about a vibe, it's about energy. And it's really, great music shot is about capturing, freeze-framing that explosion, that vibe, that scenario, you know what I mean? That's what it's all about. So that's what I'd be looking for. I'm not looking for the technical side of it, I'm looking for that energy from when I look at that shot, I think I can feel it, I can hear the crowd, I can hear the music, if it's an angry band, I can feel the anger, if it's a funky band, I can feel the funk. You know what I mean? You can capture all that in a photo. Well, all I can say is that realistically, what you have to do is, the most important thing is really to believe in yourself and believe in your work. Photography is an art form. Unlike all art forms, you just got to keep going until when somebody recognizes what you're doing, and the importance of what you're doing, and exactly what you've been able to capture. That's what it's all about. It's still having that fire, that sort of desire to jump on stage, pick up a camera, feel the energy, not feel threatened, not feeling old, not feeling like, oh, I can't, whatever. You just got to keep that fire burning, really. I'm excited to see what you guys have been shooting, so enter now. It'd be great.